Hello, everyone. I'm Amanda Benjamin.
I'm Paul Carganilla, and we welcome you to our mystifying show in which we explore mysteries of the unknown.
As they waited, they could see the creature walk up to the porch, peek into the house through the windows, and even pushed against the door. In this live stream and podcast, we'll tell tales of the paranormal and unsolved, while mixing in a little fun and live music as well. Welcome to the Magical Mystery Hour. Yay! Oh, the applause didn't happen. Yay! My buttons aren't working and I forgot. Hello, welcome everybody to the Magical Mystery Hour. There it is.
Backup applause here for you.
Yay!
My studio audience was like, "You need me? Here we go."
Okay, this is our moment.
I have dreamed of this.
Yeah, you can be applause tonight, like so. My button.
It's been a minute since I've been on a live stream, and I apologize. Life has been crazy. I'm so glad we were able to connect tonight, but it's also been a slow roll out here on season 2 of Magical Mystery Hour. I want to say thank you to everybody for your patience with us as we navigate life and get these mysteries together to package up and tell you these stories. Yeah. But I also wanted to just touch on the live studio audience not studio audience, but the live audience on YouTube, and say hello to some friends we haven't seen in a while, and brand new friends, and this new feature where you can be ranked by your amount of interaction.
Right?
How
and
fun
so
is that?
I've seen that on my live stream, and I'm like, whatever. Right? Like, it's just a thing. And then I was on David's show, and it's like, you're number 1. And I was like, oh.
I got to keep it up.
Yeah.
I got to keep the conversation going.
Dang it.
It's brilliant.
It really is.
Brilliant.
It really is.
How dare you get bumped? How dare you be anything but number 1 on your husband's live stream?
I know. It was a tough. Kelsey had me right on my tail.
But thank you everybody for being here on the Vodacity Network YouTube live chat. We love interacting with you live, and if you're listening to the audio version of this months and months after it was live, know that you can always join us live whenever we're doing these live streams. It's free on the Vodacity Network YouTube channel, but we also have a Patreon, Magical Mystery Hour, so check that out if you're into doing the Patreon thing for your favorite shows. But let's say hello to Nelson Dari, our friend Little Ditzy Daydream 10-6. That's interesting. 10-6 is a police code for I'm here. I wonder if she knows that, or if that's just her birthday. October 6th might just be her birthday. I see Diana Nicole, Steve, all these lovely friends. Dave Hill, if I haven't said it. But most of all, I want to say hello to my co-host Amanda Benjamin.
Hello.
How is your life? I think last time we recorded, like, you just got a new job and life was upside down. How are you?
Doing really good. It's great. New job is going really well. And so far so good. Everybody's like, you're doing an amazing job. And I'm like, oh, that's great. Nice feedback. So it's good. And as I said, I think in the last show, it's nice because it's most weeks it's 3 days out, 2 days at home. So I actually get to be at home a little more, and decided, since I have, a little bit more money and a little bit more time, I'm doing like acting classes, which is why my show is going to be on Friday for a few weeks. And so I was like, you know what? I want to do an acting class, and it's here. Let's do it. So that's fun. Doing that, trying to hit some auditions, and it's been good.
This is a total off the rails sidetrack, but Jamie and I, we met in acting class, and we always said, how fun would it be if we joined an acting class as adults and pretended like we didn't know each other? And then kind of slowly pretended like we were falling in love throughout the course of the acting class.
It's like the ultimate meta, like, acting game.
Split universe. That could be a Magical Mystery Hour. What if?
Oh my God! Like Magical Mystery Hour sliding doors, right? Like,
yeah.
Ooh. This should just be a movie now.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, I have a rabbit hole I could totally go down about ideas becoming movies and sliding doors and things like that. But this is not the show for it. This is Magical Mystery Hour, and we're talking about a fun topic that we've explored before.
Oh, but it was one of my favorites. I was like, we got to do this again.
Yeah. And it's fun because when people disappear, I feel like I should say that with reverb. When people disappear, I feel like it could be paranormal, it could be metaphysical, but it could be true crime. So it's like
true.
Picking the topic of vanishing. It's like, what are we going to get from these stories? Who knows?
I know. I may or may not talk about that in my story.
Mm.
We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll wing it.
I will not ruin that anymore.
No, you're good. You're good.
No more spoilers. But it's also fun. This is a fun topic too, because a lot of times there are updates, and I'm going to talk about some stories I've told that may or may not have updates when I get to my story. But other times when people disappear, there are updates and they've been found, and then there's a new news we can share with people.
Love that.
And if you're out there and you follow true crime podcasts or you follow other mystery podcasts, it's always fun to hear an update. So
yeah, it is. Yeah, that was like, I think, it was the time slips one. I did the time travel. It's not an update, but when I did it, what I found is that all the other podcasters left off at one particular point. They're like, and then he disappeared. And I was like, but he reappeared. Like, he's literally living in Hawaii right now, being like, this happened, and I'm now just living my life. And nobody talks about it. I'm like, man, these major podcasters need to do their homework and or updates.
I'm working on a new writing project, and I'm really excited about it. I don't know what it's going to be, if it's going to be a screenplay or I think my instinct says it's going to be an audio play miniseries. Ooh. But it's based on true things that happened. Not current affairs, but true things that happened in history, and it plays with a little time travel, and things are happening right now that are changing my script or changing what I'm writing, which is super fun to kind of ride this wave. It's been really thrilling to do as a writer and a creator, but it's also just like, by the time I'm done with this draft, like how much will have changed to completely blow my story out of the water. But these stories of people vanishing are so hard to cover as a human being, because it's just like, there are people at home who loved these people that will never see them again, and in a lot of cases may never get answers. So it's an interesting topic, but we got to handle it with sensitivity, present the facts, and
as best we can.
Right.
And yes, and always remember, of course, this is a podcast. We are not forensics people or anything like that. We do the best that we can with the information that we can find. But we are a podcast.
And we do not take anything that we say as true proven fact. We are not hired detectives working for a government. We are podcasters cruising the internet and listening to other podcasts and sharing our favorite stories with you.
That's it.
If there was any other way to begin a podcast with a disclaimer saying don't trust anything we say as if we're experts, that's what we just did.
Yep. I think it's pretty good. We should make one of those.
Are you here to have some fun?
Podcast.
We had one. I think we were worried about that at one point.
And then we went, they haven't figured it out by now.
Like, how many podcasters have been asked, subpoenaed to testify in front of any government agencies? I don't know.
So one podcast that I love is called Buried Bones. And so Buried Bones is, there's two co-hosts, but one of them is Paul Holes. And he is a forensic detective.
No, that's cool.
So it is really cool to listen to. What the one host does is she's a writer and journalist, so she takes stories that have happened, and she always, I think the most recent stories that she does are like 1950s and earlier. So most of the time, there's not a lot of direct people affected anymore.
Sure.
But then she'll show him the pictures and the findings, autopsy results, whatever it is, and she's like, "Hey, what do you think here? What do you think here? Do you agree with them?" It's so cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, great. Buried bones, buried bones.
I'm exploring this new thing at work where I've been trying to do this for like the past 4 years, is trying to start a podcast for my work.
Yes.
Because I think there's a lot of things that people can glean from what their local government agency is doing if you present it in a casual, informative way, not a press conference.
Right.
But also I wanted to mix in like cold cases, things that around the city that people don't talk about anymore. But if somebody heard something about, we could drum up some. So that's finally getting kicked back up again. And it looks like we might be able to start sharing some cold cases from the agency in which I work, which I'm really excited about.
I mean, if that doesn't work out, we can do that here.
Sure.
I'm just saying.
But the thing is, like, a lot of the people who are integral parts of these stories are still around and are still very sensitive to them. And so that's my biggest obstacle that I'm running into is, ooh, do you really want to contact the wife? Do you really want to do you want to bring all this back up after they've been healing for 12 years? Yeah. And so like, I admire true crime podcasters that are able to actually sit down with family members and get their present day perspective on things.
Yeah, definitely.
Well,
ooh, that's so exciting.
So that's life. Yeah. That's life. Life is good.
Did you talk about what you've been up to? Because you've been so crazy busy. Like last year, I feel like.
Yeah, it's been kind of one thing after another, but in the free time we just try and like squeeze in as much casual family time as we can. But yeah, we've been bouncing back and forth to Texas. Noah's been working on a show out there in Austin. It was supposed to go March through the end of June, but then at the beginning of June they said we need to take a unexpected break, figure out how we're gonna finish the season, and then rewrite some stuff from the beginning of the season.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's
interesting.
Scary.
Yeah.
So they said we're gonna take a break. They sent us home, I think the second week of June, and they said expect to come back second half of August, and we'll get all this done.
Oh.
And now we're being told October,
ooh,
maybe November, and it's like,
goodness.
Okay, but here's the thing. You filmed almost an entire season of a 7-year-old boy in March, and then you're going to bring him back in October, November, and it's going to match up.
I think that they're going to have to do some major rewrites.
It's scary, but
maybe there'll be a little time jump.
We have total confidence that the production team exactly what they're doing. But no, yeah, so that's been an adventure. Everly's been busy doing her stuff, and of course Jamie and I still have full-time jobs, so we're busy. But we are so excited. I mean, just so grateful to have our Vodacity family that was formed here in 2020 and continues to grow. How many consecutive weeks has Amanda on Demanda been on?
What is it? 240 45, I think. It's crazy. That
is insane.
Yeah, there's been some
consecutive weeks of Amanda shows. Holy buckets.
I know there was one week I was like, oh my God, it's Sunday.
You are a cornerstone, and you are an inspiration to so many of us who just, it's so important to keep creativity and hobbies that you love important, like at the core of what you do, and a priority. And you are able to do that in a way that I've never seen anyone be able to do before.
Well,
so,
it was like I was talking to for those of you guys who are kind of regulars, I was talking to Katie McTire, And she was like, man, sometimes I just feel like I don't have time to do, you know, the music I want to do. I'm either in a show or I'm teaching kids or I'm doing this. And I was like, yeah. And that's exactly why I feel like it's so important for me to do it. Even though sometimes I'm like, I'm tired. It's like, but at what point do you lose yourself in all of life, you know? So I'm like, okay, I can set aside an hour every week just to be like, all right, I'm just going to sing. And some days I sing what I want. And I'm like, sorry, guys. Like, send me some requests if you want, but I got to sing some of these songs. And other times I'm just like, I don't know what I want to sing. I'm, you know, tired, and give me some ideas.
Exactly.
But yeah, either way.
Yeah, it's so important. And this is something we talked about on Cove Pod a bunch, which is just like, you know, you have to set aside time for yourself, whether it's 15 minutes a day. Like, if that sounds like a lot, you probably need more.
Yeah,
You need time to sit down in a quiet corner and do what you want to do. That's not prepping lunches for tomorrow. That's not getting your kids' laundry in the dryer. Just you have to carve out a little hole in your day where you get to let your heart breathe and glow and shine, and it's so important. And we just went straight from Magical Mystery Hour to the Cove Pod.
I know.
Talking about creativity and nurturing your creativity. Let's jump back into why
let's get back to the mystery.
So we're talking about vanishing people, and if you're familiar with our format on the show, I do a song, fits a theme. Amanda tells her story. Amanda does a song that fits the theme. I tell my story, and then we have a duet that I've never heard before. And
it's gonna be another live hybrid.
Oh, you're going live?
Oh yeah. I was like, oh, record it, and then like I said, I finished everything early, and then I was like, I gotta get ready, and then I was like, oh, I'm not ready to record. All right. But I did practice. I tried it earlier, so we're good.
There's no such thing as being early when we're getting ready for a live stream.
How does this always happen? At like 5 o'clock, I was like, cool,
happens.
I got it already. And then all of a sudden I was like,
well, so sadly, tragically, I feel like a lot of times when people go missing, there's something not right in either their relationships or their mental health. And so when I was trying to think of what to do, this week. And while I was actively trying to think, this song came on in the grocery store, and I went, thank you, God. You just gave me
thank you
for this. And so this is one of my favorite bands. If you know me well, you know I love me some Matchbox 20. And in the thread that a lot of times when people vanish, there's something unwell in either their relationships or going on with their psyche. And so that's why I kind of just landed here. But like I mentioned, it's also one of my favorite bands, and I love the tune. Here's a little Matchbox 20.
Hang on, we're getting a lot of like air conditioner sound, fan sound, something.
What if I turn up me?
It's just like a constant.
I know what it is, but I can't get rid of it right now.
Oh, well then so go for it.
If I can cover it up, here we go.
Okay.
All day, I'm staring at the ceiling, making friends with shadows on my wall. All night, I'm hearing voices telling me that I should get some sleep, 'cause tomorrow might be good for something. Hold on, I'm feeling like I'm headed for a break down, and I don't know why. But I'm not crazy, I'm just a little unwell. I know right now you can't tell. Stay a while and maybe then you'll see a different side of me. I'm not crazy, I'm just a little impaired. I know right now you don't care. Soon enough you're gonna think of me and how I used to be. Me, talking to myself in public, dodging glances on the train. And I know that they've been talking about me. I can hear them whisper, and it makes me feel like something is wrong with me. Out of all the hours thinking, somehow I've lost my mind. But I'm not crazy, I'm just a little unwell. I know right now you can't tell. Stay a while and maybe then you'll see a different side of me. I'm not crazy, I'm just a little impaired. I know right now you don't care. Soon enough you're gonna think of me and how I used to be. I've been talking in my sleep. I'm pretty sure they'll come to get me. Yeah, they're taking me away. But I'm not crazy, I'm just a little unwell. I know right now you can't tell. Stay a while and maybe then you'll see a different side of me. I'm not crazy, I'm just a little impaired. I know right now you don't care. Soon enough you're gonna think of me and how I used to be.
Yay! Perfectly executed applause noise.
Hang on.
Yay!
When it comes time to edit the audio podcast, I will do a recording without the shower in the wall directly behind the microphone.
Is that what it is? I got used to it eventually. At first it was really loud, but the longer you kept going, I think it
you get used to it.
Yeah, it's white
It's
noise.
like when you first start thinking you're crazy, you get used to it, and then you realize you're not crazy, but that just means you're crazy, right?
Just a little bit unwell. It's fine.
You're
fine.
Get used to it.
All right. Well, I guess that means it's my turn.
Yeah, I know you love the subject of people just disappear. Wait, the subject of when people disappear.
Yes, I love it. We need this every time.
It's a thing now. It's a thing.
It really is.
Well, I mean, did you have anything in mind when you said let's do this again, or
You know, I did. And then the one that I wanted to do, I was like, wow, that's intense. And I realized it was going to be very, very long. So I was like, okay, let me back off that one a little bit and do something kind of similar, but a little different. Yeah, so maybe someday I'll do that one when I don't feel so intimidated by it.
I like David's idea of let's do when problems disappear.
I like it.
Your problems just go away.
They just stop. It's great.
Would that be entertaining to hear a bunch of people just having great news?
I know. There used to be John. No, what's his name? Oh my god. I'm gonna like be completely. John Krasinski had this.
Good
News
during COVID.
Network. Yeah. People loved that. I mean, I definitely had times I was like, I need to watch some good news.
Yeah, especially during COVID.
Yeah, for sure.
That's why we were having our fun on the Vodacity network over here, just finding entertainment wherever we could. Okay. But I'm so excited to hear what you landed on after ditching the epic 3-hour story.
Yes. I said someday I will do that one. All right, I'm gonna. Oh my gosh, I hate every time I select a window it flashes video. Sorry, to all of you out there watching. But let me get some background music going. It always starts super loud, so I'm gonna. Oh, it didn't today. Let's see. Let's just check the balance really quick. Can you hear that there's a little music playing, but it's not bad. It's not interrupting.
I can, but tell us at home.
Yeah, I think it's okay because it actually remembered my settings for once. David says, I don't hear it. It gets so loud if I... Okay, you say it's very quiet. Okay, here's where it gets louder. How's this? Or starts to get louder. Is that better or too distracting? I went from a 1 to a 3, so there's still 2. Okay, David says, that's better. All right. Then I will start it over. Okay. Nicole says, go to 2. Okay, 2 it is. And
ooh, she listened to Nicole over her husband.
Well, that was actually my thought. I was like, oh, I probably should do 2. And then David said it was fine, so I was going to stay. But then Nicole backed up my 2, and so did Diana. So, okay.
Look, I'm not saying that's the right or wrong answer to go with Nicole over her husband. I was just making an observation.
Just saying.
No, it's an observation.
All right. Well, then I will get started with today's story. So here we go. Have you ever had one of those dreams where you're flying through the air? You're as free, you're just completely free. You can break through a cloud. You can feel the cool air flying through your hair, and it's just perfect. You take a deep breath, and you smell the salt in the air, the deep blue ocean a mile beneath you. But amidst that perfection, something just feels wrong. That sense of dread starts to overwhelm you. The colors start to change from bright and saturated to something dark and sinister. And the world just slows down. But then suddenly you're falling faster than you can comprehend. That bright, beautiful ocean is getting closer and closer and closer, and the world seems to get darker. Your heart pounds as you're met with blackness. Everything seems to stop, and you aren't sure if you even exist anymore. Did you just vanish into a void? But then you open your eyes, and you're back in your bed, and you can take a breath. Thank goodness. Dreams can be beautiful. They can fill us with awe and wonder, and they can lift us up into impossible worlds. Worlds where we can fly, or fight, or even fall in love at first sight. And then there are those dreams that we chase when we're awake. Some people dream of fame and fortune, and some dream of saving lives, and others want to create life-changing works of art that'll outlive them for generations. The person that you're going to hear about tonight was a dreamer in every sense of the word. He dedicated his entire life to pursuit of his one dream, his sense of purpose. But one day he just vanished. No wreckage, no remains, just dreams left hanging in the air. Today, we're going to board planes that never landed, radio signals that ended in eerie silence, and look for trails that vanished in the sky. We're going to explore the tale of a pilot who never returned home. We'll have to ask ourselves, what really happened here? Is it weather or something far, far stranger?
Was it in the Bermuda Triangle?
Oh, no. But there is, I forget what they call it. This area does have a name. I forgot to write it down. But it's not the Bermuda Triangle. So, this story is about the disappearance of Frederick Valentish. Frederick Valentish was born in Australia on June 9th, 1958, to Italian parents Guido and Roberta Valentish. And he was the oldest of 4 siblings. Frederick, or Fred, as he was often called, had a lifelong dream of becoming a commercial pilot. But this dream was not easily obtained for Fred. He applied to be a pilot in the Royal Australian Air Force, not once, but twice. And unfortunately, he was rejected both times due to a lack of qualifications. However, our friend Freddie, he was not one to lie down in the face of defeat. Rather.
Go, Fred.
Yes, Fred, you could do it. Nah, I like that kind of person. I'm like, all right, let's try something else.
Yeah.
So instead, he enrolled in the Royal Air Force Training Corps, thinking that this could be his foot in the door. It'll give him experience that he needed. And he also studied outside of the Corps, just taking classes and flying lessons, all financed by his father. But still, Frederick was faced with rejection. He failed to obtain his license several times after that. And not only that, he was actually under consideration for disciplinary action for flying blindly into clouds. I did not know that was a thing, but
I didn't know you could get disciplined for it, but I knew that like that wasn't something you should do.
No, right? Yeah. So he was facing possible disciplinary action. It was just it was a tough time.
Wow.
Yeah. However, Valentish did obtain a Class 4 instrument rating earlier in the year of 1978 that allowed him to fly at night when conditions were good. He had logged about 150 hours of flight time on the night of his final flight. Sounds like a lot. It's actually not, that many when you consider how long you're usually in the air, at least an hour, but often longer.
Right. I think I'm driving 150 hours a week.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Really, yeah.
Yeah. So on Saturday, October 21st, 1978, Valentish hired a Cessna 182L aircraft, and he went to a briefing about his flight conditions, and everything looked great. He submitted a flight plan for the night flight from Moorabbin to King Island, and then a return flight. So I'm going to show you a couple things real quick. First, for those of you watching, so you can see, okay, so this is Frederick. And this is his plane. Okay, so this is the Cessna. It's kind of what you imagine, like a very small personal, airplane, right?
Yeah.
If you think about it, you're like, oh yeah, what's like a little 2-person plane? You're gonna think of this little
with a propeller in the front,
Yeah.
the kind you see in the movies when they're going somewhere they're not supposed to go. That's the kind of
exactly. And I love this little like 70s look of it too, which is perfect.
Oh yeah.
So
This is the actual one. This is actual.
No, the ones it's in the only pictures I saw of the actual one that he used were in black and white. But yeah. Oops, sorry. That's his. Oh, go ahead though. We'll take that down. But this is the route that he took, just so we can all see. So he started at Moorabbin. He had to fly out to Cape Otway because of his status. That way he could stay by the land and take a shorter route overseas to King Island.
His status, meaning like his
like
pilot.
His pilot status, like because he only had the 150 hours. So
copy.
Okay, let me get this one. Oh, there we go. So that's that's the route that he took. So now here is where things start to get a little strange.
Things start to get strange?
Yeah, already.
Oh.
First things first. So Frederick told his father that he was going to King Island to get some crayfish and to bring it back with him.
Except to his father, it sounded like, I was going to the Tashi station to pick up some power converters.
Yes, that's exactly what it sounded like.
Yeah.
How did you know?
I can just see it.
Past lives. Yeah. But when he reported the intention of his flight to air services, he said that he was going to pick up some friends on King Island. And he grabbed 4 life jackets and packed them on the plane.
Oh.
So already, like, why this change of story? What is happening?
He was going to get some droids, not his friends.
Yes. The droids he's looking for.
They're there. We're waiting.
So not only this, but crayfish weren't regularly sold at this time of the year. And he didn't make any arrangements to buy them ahead of time. At least nobody said that he did. And who waits until the end of the day to buy the fresh caught fish from the morning? Like, do you really want the fish that's been sitting around all day? Ugh. That doesn't sound right. I like it.
Sure. It's like gas station sushi when you're pulling into 7-Eleven at sunset.
Exactly.
Don't buy that.
Don't do it.
Not that I do.
No. I think the closest I've gotten is buying like the sushi at like Vaughn's.
I had Von sushi for lunch today.
Oh, you did?
But I bought it at 7 o'clock in the morning. So.
Oh, okay. So it's fresh.
We hope. Who even knows?
They're like, oh, it's still good. Still good. Still, the Cessna was fully refueled and ready to take off that evening. There was enough fuel to last 300 minutes, and the trip should have taken about 70 minutes each way. At 6:19, Valentish took off from Moorabbin and headed to King Island. At 7 o'clock p.m., he radioed that he'd reached Cape Otway. Oh, goodness, try that again. At 7 p.m., he radioed that he had reached Cape Otway and was proceeding to King Island from there. Just 6 minutes later, Valentish radioed Melbourne Flight Service Unit, and that's FSU, again with a disturbing message. First, he asked if there was any air traffic in the area. FSU said that nobody should be out there. Then, Valentish claimed that there was an aircraft flying above him and then below him. He also said that it seemed to be playing games with him, flying at incredible speeds and orbiting around him.
Stop it.
Yeah. He said that he saw a bright green light and asked if they knew what kind of plane this could be. And FSU just responded that they didn't know. Valentish became convinced that this was not a traditional aircraft. Now, the tension was building as he tried to comprehend what was happening. Then he noted that his engine was sputtering and that his intention was just to get to King Island. Finally, he said that the object was back, hovering again above him, and that it was not an aircraft. And then there was a series of what's described as metallic scratching noises, followed by silence. That was it. No final goodbye, no last words, no mayday, just nothing. And no one saw or heard from him again.
That is tragic. 2 things.
Mm-hmm.
How close was he to Antarctica when this happened?
Well, I mean, he was, let's see, this map that I showed you, so he's off the southern tip of Australia.
Second of all.
Oh, yeah, because you did the Antarctica one.
Yeah. It could not, it might not be, I mean, what year?
1978.
Oh, okay. Then that blows my other thought out of the water.
Oh,
okay.
man.
So it's aliens then.
It's definitely aliens.
It's Bigfoot aliens.
Oh, Dave says Gremlins ate the plane.
Yeah.
So this recording was out there, and I'll talk a little bit about this later. It was out there, and then it was gone, and then somebody brought it up again. So I did find this. So I'm actually gonna pause my background music for a sec, because we're going to hear this transmission that we have, and like I said, we'll talk a little bit about it later. It's you may need to turn your volume up. I'm not sure. I can kind of do it too, but let's see. It's hard to understand because this is an old radio transmission, but let's see if we can hear some of it. So here's saying, is there any aircraft below 5,000 feet? Four bright lights, and it seems like landing gear. Aircraft passed over me about 1,000 feet above. Unknown speed and is traveling really fast. This says unintelligible. My level is 4,500, 4500. Melbourne Delta Sierra Juliet. It is not an aircraft. As it's flying past, it's a long shape. Can't identify more than it has such speed. It's before me right now, but it seems like it's stationary. What I'm doing now is just orbiting, and the thing is orbiting on top of me. Green light. Metallic and shiny. It just vanished. Would you know what kind of aircraft it is? Military aircraft? Approaching from the southwest. The engine is rough idling. I got it set at 2324, and the thing is coughing. My intention is to go to King Island. The aircraft is hovering on top of me again. It's hovering and it's not an aircraft. And that's it.
That is fascinating.
Right?
First of all, his last sentence there. It's hovering, but it's not an aircraft.
Yeah. What is it? I mean,
if it's hovering, it's an aircraft, right?
Right? I think what he meant was it's not like a plane.
It's not like a plane that I've ever seen before.
Yeah. But I agree. I was like, oh. That's what I always say. Like with UFOs, people are always like, alien. And I'm like, well, no, it just means it's an unidentified flying object.
Flying object, right.
You don't know what it is.
Do you remember in the Antarctica episode when we talked about Foo Fighters?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
How there were these alien, it seemed like fighter jets that were of alien origin.
Right.
Like it kind of makes me think of that, but they were like longer aircraft. And
what year was that? I don't remember what year that was.
That was for World War II, so it was earlier, but
it could be around, you know,
that much earlier.
Yeah, I mean, in the grand scheme of things.
Right. That I'd never heard that audio before. That was fascinating.
Yeah, it is, right? It's, and a lot of times you'll find it and people recreate it, you know, so it's understandable. But I like to hear, even though I had to talk over some of it, I still like to hear what it sounded like.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So after this happened, after the transmission was lost and Valentish didn't arrive at King Island on time, a large search party of aircraft and boats were launched. However, they found no trace of a crash. At one point, they found an oil slick, which was a little bit outside of his route, but they decided to take a sample of the oil and found that it was actually consistent with a boat and not a plane. So they're back to square one.
Did anybody talk to the friends he was supposed to be picking up?
Nobody knew who they were.
Mm.
He just said, I'm going to go get some friends, you know.
Okay. Maybe those were his friends.
Ugh, maybe. Yikes.
Meeting him.
Oh. He actually had alien friends.
He got duped into this human trafficking alien cult.
Yes.
That lured him there to pick him up.
Mm-hmm. There is some talk. I don't think I talked about this in the story. There is some talk that he may have really been into UFOs. But as far as I know, that was mostly his dad talking about him. But I haven't seen anything that said that was like a big part of his personality. Just maybe that he was kind of interested in the idea. Just to put that out there. His dad was broken after this and was all over the news just trying anything to find his son. So it was very hard.
Like I said earlier in the episode, like this is like that. I think that's the hardest thing is being the family left behind with no answers.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Dave Hill asked, was there any radar tracking the plane? I don't think so. They didn't mention it. I mean, they had the route, but I don't think they had a like tracker going at the time. But that it has not come up on any searches that I looked at.
I think from previous things I've read, like it's hard to track that kind of plane.
Yeah.
Especially overseas. If it's
because you need a lot of stations. Like the major airports and airlines can do it, but it's not easy. So that's pretty much all we know for solid evidence. That's not much to go on.
Right.
But there are some theories that we can look at. So we're going to start with conventional theories first, right? So there are several ideas about what could have caused a plane crash and disappearance like this. So first of all, let's note a few things. Of course, as we said earlier, he was a new pilot. He only had 150 hours of flying under his belt. Oh, I forgot to restart my music. Here, let's go back. Music. And I'll say that little part again. There are several conventional ideas about what could have caused a plane crash and disappearance like this. So we're going to start with that. First of all, let's note a few things. Valentish was a newer pilot with only 150 hours of flying under his belt. Also, this was only his second night flight. And let's not forget how many times he tried and failed to get his commercial license. It's a lot. That's a lot of circumstantial evidence. He didn't get into the RAAF. And so it's entirely possible that Frederick Valentish was just disoriented and crashed. It's a very logical explanation. He basically succumbed to some kind of an illusion of a tilted horizon, fell into a death spiral, became confused about what he was seeing and what direction he was flying, and he crashed into the ocean. Now, there are also theories, because that I can get being disoriented, but for that long and saying that I see a plane and it's here and it's gone and it's hovering and it's a lot of time to be in like a death spiral. And there are theories that he managed to fly upside down. Now, this is good in that it would explain the green light that he was seeing, because it was probably a reflection of his own light in the water. So I was like, oh, that's a good theory. But when I looked into it, it's not the best theory. So first of all, the Cessna 182L is not an acrobatic plane. Okay. It's a general aviation aircraft. So it's designed to be stable. It's designed to fly upright and really gentle maneuvers, right? It is not designed for acrobatic flight. And so attempting to actually flip the plane is really, really hard. They say even pilots who are really good will have a hard time flipping a Cessna. So That's problem number one. The plane is built to handle positive G-forces, right? So that's like what's pushing you down in your seat, not negative ones, right? That are pushing you out of it. So an inverted flight actually introduces like negative G-forces, and the airframe, the wings, they're not rated for that, and it'll probably fail pretty quick, right? You'll have wings break, tail failure, all of this stuff, right? You're going to lose your lift and you can't control the plane. And he wasn't complaining about any of that, right? So, okay. The next thing is that the fuel and the oil systems aren't able to do it. So what'll happen is because the fuel systems and the oil systems in the Cessna are gravity fed, if you are upside down, they will stop working, right? So the engine will stop working due to fuel starvation, oil starvation, loss of lubrication, and all the key components. And it's going to happen pretty fast, right? And again, we had this whole several minutes of chat. So it's difficult to say. And again, it's not going to be stable. So you're going to feel different. And yeah, David says he does say that the engine was sputtering, and that is the one thing that you go, there was definitely something wrong with the fuel. But with all the other parts, I just can't make the upside down part work, especially with this, because somebody talked about this and I had no idea. But apparently the stuff in this Cessna is not tacked down. So if you're flying upside down, like the carpet is gonna fall. There would be cigarette, ashtrays, and those are gonna fall. And so you would know if you were upside down. And he never said something's wrong, right? So
unless he's flipping around and out of the corner of his eye, the ashtray is a flying object, and he's got a bunch of glow-in-the-dark spheres in the back that just start floating around him while he's trying to fly the plane.
Yeah. Yeah.
But in all seriousness, I wonder, based on all of his like personal failures in life, did you read anything about did he have, and was he battling oh my gosh, I bring it right around to my song, any sort of depression or mental health things? Could this have been a glorified attempt at taking his own life but staying in the memory of people?
Yes, that is exactly a theory that's out there. And it kind of goes hand in hand a little bit with the idea that maybe he was into aliens and UFOs. He, with all of his failure getting his pilot license, getting into the RAF, and his dad, remember, was financing him, and basically he's failing. So it's entirely possible.
And we have no proof that he had any friends that he was going to pick up.
Now, he did have a girlfriend, and he had made some dinner plans for 7:30 p.m. However, he didn't leave until 6:19. Remember, it was going to take 70 minutes each way.
Was he going to feed her old fish?
Yeah, right? Yeah. So, yeah, I think, they had reservations at a restaurant. But again, he never would have made it. So it just adds another layer of confusion. So, who knows?
He just wasn't that into her, I think.
Yeah, and what's interesting is she did an interview and said that she had flown with him a bunch of times, and he tended to leave the mic open. If he was talking, he would leave the mic open but put it on his lap. So she was saying that perhaps some of the weird sounds we're hearing is just the microphone in his lap. Don't know. But just a thought.
Listen, I listen to a police scanner pretty much most of the day. You hear some really weird stuff coming out of
I'll bet.
Coming out of police units when they don't know that they're on the air.
Oh dear.
No, I could see that. Are there any other theories?
Well, there is, some paranormal.
Wait,
obviously. What? Because all of that is very interesting, right? But there's no clear-cut answer. And when we have no answers, what do we do? we turn to something a little more mysterious.
Ghost, Bigfoot, alien, Sasquatch.
Yes. And since this is the Magical Mystery Hour, let's look at some paranormal explanations here.
Yes.
So naturally, we talk about aliens because there's a strange craft. It's flying incredibly high. It's flying incredibly fast. It's disappearing and reappearing. It's playing games with him. Sounds creepy. I see where you get aliens.
For sure.
So, something interesting. On the night in question, amateur photographer Ray Manifold was taking pictures of the sunset and the ocean view at Cape Otway. About 20 minutes before Valentish's disappearance, Manifold took a picture. He says that shortly after taking the photos, he heard Valentish pass overhead. And when he developed the picture, he saw this. So let me show you this picture. Oh, too far. Here it is. So this is what happened. Okay. It's a sunset, but there's this weird blob in it, right? So first things first, we're like, okay, this is a development problem, right? This happened. There was probably dust on there and just got messed up. No big deal. It makes sense to me. Let's back up here. Okay. Dar says, WTH? Sup sus.
Oops.
Oh yeah, soup sus.
I don't know. I look at that picture as someone who takes a lot of pictures, and it's like it could have been a bird flying by just based on the camera speed, or even a bee. Hate bees.
A bee in your bonnet. Oh yeah, that's right.
Any sort of just like anything flying past, like it didn't. To me, just looking at the photo, it didn't have that distance aspect of it. It seemed like it was something kind of close to him.
So he said that he didn't see or hear anything when he was taking the pictures. The only time that he heard something was when Valentish passed over Cape Otway, which David was confused. He said, but wait, wasn't the plane a ways out, not right over land? How could the photographer have heard him pass? This was earlier in the day, right? So this, you can tell his pictures sunset. So it's, Valentish left at sunset and was flying at night. So this is a little bit before he passed over Cape Otway. So
and it also looks like just a demon ghost in the picture.
It really does.
Like a plane at all.
Yeah. So just like I was saying, at first Manifold just thought it was some error in development, and since he hadn't seen or heard anything during the session, he didn't think it was a bird or anything else. However, experts actually examined the negative for dirt and damage, and they found nothing. Okay, Kodak itself actually reviewed the photo and the negatives, and they found there was no development errors, no film defects, and no other issues that they could find with the photo. They said basically there was something in the photo. It's part of the photo. And this is before Photoshop, so we can't blame that.
No, and I get that. My first job was in a photo developing lab. I used to develop photos from film and negatives. Develop film from film and make it into photos. So I understand all that. I'm just saying, like, whatever it was in front of the lens. But I think it was pretty close to the lens based on what I saw. Yeah.
Now, just to add to that, take this with whatever grain of salt you would like, because Paul Norman, who is a UFO researcher, sent the photo to Ground Saucer Watch Laboratories here in America to be analyzed. Okay, so it's possible there was some bias here because that's what they do, but they are, analyzing the photo, and they determined that the object in the photo was metallic and was about 2 kilometers, which is 1.25 miles out at sea. They say that the object appears to be surrounded by some kind of a mist, indicating that may have recently emerged from the water. So it was pretty big as well. large craft. And that's, like I said, take that with whatever grain of salt you would like.
Crazy, a UFO lab
Mm-hmm.
determined that.
Yeah. So that is what they concluded.
Gotcha.
So could it be that Frederick Valentish was pursued and abducted by an alien aircraft? It is intriguing, and it's a good story, and there's a photo that could back it up. But let's look at another interesting theory. Maybe he saw something that he never should have seen. This idea comes up often in these kind of stories, and they really do intrigue me. I remember when I talked about the Dyatlov Pass incident. And
That was episode 1.
Yeah. Go back and listen to it if you haven't. That was a good one.
Season 1, episode 1. Go.
So there was an idea that the military was conducting weapons tests that killed the hikers, and then they tried to cover it up, right? And also, how about the idea of Roswell, right? Roswell, some people say, was not the site of an alien UFO crash, but rather a secret military test gone wrong. Well, there's also some similar theories here. The idea is that there was a military aircraft that was being tested in the area, and Valentish just happened to come across it. Remember how confused he was by its speed and its lights, and eventually said, that's not an aircraft. Well, this could have been some brand new kind of experimental model. It was top secret, and he wasn't supposed to see it. He did plan everything late. He wasn't supposed to be out there, right? He did submit his flight plan, but it could have been too late for somebody to figure that out. So it's possible maybe he paid the ultimate price. And to add to this theory, which I did mention a little bit earlier, the radio distress call was initially released to the media, publicly available. Then it was basically taken down. Nobody could find it. It's classified. It's just gone. Once it was rediscovered, many, many years later, several chunks were actually just cut out. We don't know what was said. It was just like he would say something and then there was silence on the FSU side. So we don't know what's missing anymore. So who did that and why?
You mean once evidentiary documents get in the hands of government agencies, they might be changed?
What? Unthinkable.
Or just misrepresented in some way?
I don't know. It's far-fetched, you guys.
Chain of custody, my friends.
So yeah, and the person who brought this recording out into the world again said that it was given to him by somebody who he could not name because they would be in a whole lot of trouble. Yeah. So I always like these theories. Then they seem to crop up all over the place. So I'll leave it as a maybe. It's always fun.
Listen, there's been a lot of these stories of pilots seeing craft they don't understand how they're maneuvering around them. Like they don't physically know how it's what they're seeing is possible, and that's so fascinating to me. And it sounds like in his recording, I think you playing it and translating it in that way was very powerful. It definitely sounds legit. He's a great actor.
Yeah.
If it's not real, he's a great actor. But yeah, it's wild to think that he really experienced that so close to land, and there was just no other eyewitness accounts, unless that's just a really barren south tip of Australia.
Yeah.
But not being able to refute it in the way that we can't.
Exactly.
It's fascinating.
And of course, there's also this idea of time slips. I think somebody said that earlier. I saw a time machine. Dari, time machine. There is this idea of time slips, and we did there's another one. We did a great episode on time slips, and you should totally check that out after listening to this one if you haven't heard that one either. We had LA Beatles on. It was great. But I'm not really going to get into this theory because there's just no evidence. It's just a possible paranormal explanation. So if you would like to imagine that Frederick Valentish flew into some kind of a time slip and has been living out the rest of his life on an Australian beach in times gone by, I am all for it. Certainly is a much better story than a lot of the alternatives. You go with it.
Well, I think with time slips, those stories, people go in for either an instant or a certain time, but come back. Mm-hmm. But to go through a time slip and not come back, I don't think it's a time slip anymore. I think it's time travel.
I suppose, yeah.
Maybe that's what happened.
Or maybe he's still going to come back. We don't know.
Yeah.
What if he comes back next year? Then it'll be back to a time slip.
What if he's the same age?
Ooh.
But what if he has aged?
This is it. We have another movie under our belts.
Boom. He's creating them left and right.
I love it. Copyrighted.
Damn.
You heard it here first.
Here we go.
So, where does all this leave us? A dark ocean, a voice growing more frantic, strange lights, an object that wasn't a plane, strange metallic sounds, and then silence. As people, we want stories to have endings. Now, we prefer happy endings, but we settle for sad ones too, just as long as they end. But sometimes they don't. Sometimes people just vanish. And sometimes the mystery has no solution. For Frederick Valentish, there was no goodbye, only questions that echoed in the night sky. But then again, these mysteries, unsolved and unending, bring us together. I mean, look at us now. Hundreds of people will listen to this or watch this over time. And we gather together to wonder, to imagine, and to remember. So while this is a terrible tragedy, maybe Frederick Valentish's legacy isn't that he disappeared, but that he followed his dreams to the edge of the world. And in doing this, he brought us all a little closer together. And there's something beautiful there, a strange light in the darkness. But for now, this too will remain a magical mystery.
And another installment of When People Disappear. Amanda Benjamin, ladies and gentlemen. Fascinating. I never heard about that before.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I hadn't heard of it before, researching some of these mysterious vanishings. I was like, oh, okay. It's kind of a simple story in a way, but very intriguing.
Yeah. My story is simple as well and very intriguing. It is not as nearly paranormal based or possible. as we need to come up for a term of what is the likeliness of paranormal.
Oh, yeah, we should rate them.
The parascale. What is the paranormal scale of that?
Paranormalcy.
If we were on the paranormalcy scale of your story, I would give that a solid 6.
That's what I thought too. I was like, I think a 6. I like it.
Yeah, I'd give it a 6.
Yeah.
What would you in the live chat? Yes. If you were on the parascale,
paranormalcy.
The scale of paranormalcy. Yeah. We gotta copyright that and start making t-shirts immediately.
Done.
On the scale of paranormalcy. See, Dari says 6 to 7. I just said 6.5.
Yeah. I am for it.
Like, what are they like? So a 1 is true crime, and a 10 is paranormal to the max.
Right.
Kelsey's giving us a
6.
6.
Mm-hmm.
Dig it. Barbara's
Mm-hmm.
also in the 6.5
Yeah.
neighborhood.
David is always a 0.
Well, his normalcy is also a 0. So
Well, I mean,
there's womp womp.
womp
Um,
womp.
that's fantastic writing and storytelling as
Thank
always,
you.
Amanda Benjamin.
Thank you. Oh, Sorona says I give it 5 spirits.
That's a good scale. How many spirits?
Yes.
Paranormalcy scale. And Dave Hill's giving us the paranormal metric.
Oh my gosh. What does it say for? Oh, okay. He spiraled in. It's entirely possible. And that's what I
It's
like.
it's wild when you think of like being in the air. It's so easy for anybody who's not live streaming and listening to the audio podcast. Today, the day we're recording this, we lost Hulk Hogan,
Mm-hmm.
who was a national pop culture icon. Um, Fun fact, I mean, rest in peace, Hulk Hogan. But fun fact, I was actually in talks with his manager. I wrote, if anybody out there was around when I was making my web series Winners, I had an episode where a celebrity showed up at the house just to tell the people who lived there that uh, they wanted to let him know that Dave still owed him $200, and just let Dave know they owe them $200 still. And I wrote that with just like a generic celebrity in mind, just thinking, how funny is it that just like this celebrity shows up at this house of a bunch of unknown actors and tells them that their landlord owes them $200. And I had Hulk Hogan, and I never spoke to him, but I had been in touch with his team, and he was excited about it. And unfortunately, he had a scheduling thing come up, and I
Oh,
was
that's
able to
too bad.
grab Kato Kalin at the last minute,
Which is
which
still like so cool.
and it just opened itself up to the fodder of like, is there a guest house here?
Yeah.
That the whole joke. But I grew up in the '80s watching WWF, and Hulk Hogan was such a huge part of that whole movement and stuff. But oh gosh, why did I start down this road?
You just started with Hulk Hogan just died.
And if you're listening to this today,
Mm-hmm. 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 Oh no, we lost the
where
thread.
did I go? I started down this road because of, I'm gonna remember it in a
You
minute and be
will.
like, I know what I was gonna say.
Sometimes you have to back off of it.
Oh man, that's embarrassing. That's sad. But
Maybe you were just mentioning it because
no, I wasn't. I
oh, you
wouldn't have
had
just
him.
mentioned
Well, no, I
that.
was just to say like we're sorry, to lose a celebrity of our childhood times.
It was it was directly tied into something I was just about to say.
Oh, and Dave Hill says Paul is spiraling in.
Totally. Yeah. Okay. There it is. Thank
Oh
you.
yes.
Yeah. So a friend of mine who was really upset about this event today was texting me and saying, I never met him, but he was a huge part of my childhood and made me believe like in the magic and made me believe things. And I'm like genuinely sad today because of this passing. And while I grew up watching WWF in the 80s, like I didn't have that emotional connection to
Yeah.
him, but I was able to connect that. I was able to relate to the loss of Kobe Bryant in 2020 because I'm such a huge Lakers fan, and Kobe always inspired me. But Kobe's loss on that helicopter on a foggy day, like as much um, investigatory stuff, you can take all the measurements from the black box, you can take all of the tools, all the whatever you have available to you to fly a helicopter just straight to a location, it's so easy to get disoriented,
Yes.
especially when you have no idea what's up and what's down. And they think that like that's what the pilot experienced
Yeah.
was just complete loss of what's up and what's down and what's left and what's right. And then it just everything goes spiraling. So I can totally see how, um, if you're flying a plane out, like they didn't mention any fog or clouds or anything
No,
in
the
this
conditions
case.
were really good.
But okay,
Yeah.
so but when you're in the air, if just something goes haywire with
Yeah.
either the instruments in front of you or within your head,
Yeah.
it could go south quick.
Absolutely. And it was nighttime and over the ocean, so it's really easy. That it talked a little bit about like the tilted horizon. If you're trying to orient yourself by the horizon, but it starts to look a little tilted, then you can easily just whoop with it. And so there's a lot, a lot of, again, very explainable things that could have happened as well. But yes, definitely disorientation and helicopters are so hard to fly. I think they're way harder than planes.
I'm sure small aircraft are too.
Yeah.
And still on the paranormalcy scale.
Yeah. That's why we
Well,
like it. Good 6 to 7. We like it.
anywhere between 5 and 7, we're good.
Yeah.
Mine's much lower. Mine's more on the true crime
Ooh.
scale.
Okay.
But
The crimey-wimey scale.
before we dive into that,
Oh, man.
Amanda still has 2 songs to perform, but
Woo!
just
Oh,
only
yeah.
one right now. What inspired your song choice for today?
Oh, wow. I love this song, and I was just like, I was going back and forth, and I was like, okay, like maybe this song again. I always do. I'm like, it's not fitting. It's not fitting. And then this just literally popped into my head like an inspiration. It's like, ooh, that song. And then so I was like, I gotta learn how to play it. So I'm gonna do my best. I had my guitar. I was on the acoustic, so I had it in my hands for the acoustic, and my acoustic is not working. So I'm switching to the electric, which, as you know, is a smaller neck. So everything's going to feel a little weird. But I'll do my best. I love this song. I love Mazzy Star. And do Fade Into You. I love that. But this is a different Mazzy Star. And it's haunting. It's pretty, like, what's a good word for it? Like, I feel like threadbare is a good word. It's very minimalist, but
Raw.
it's haunting. Yeah, very raw. It's haunting. It's called Into Dust. And I thought it was perfect because, right? To dust we shall become.
Yeah.
And we're all made out of stars, right? We go back. And so I thought it's a good one. So I'm going to do it. Yeah. And he was like, it's bleak. So yeah, so I'm going to do Mazzy Star Into Dust. I said, forgive my last minute switches. Like we always say, Paul and I always say, we're like, we'll fix it for the podcast. And we'll probably have plenty of time with our little backlog.
And we appreciate everyone who's here live now.
You get to like go through the journey with us when you're live.
Yeah.
That's great. I am also going to do like a little sound check with y'all because we, like I said, got hooked up right before we started and we wanted to get started. So let's try. I'll turn on some reverb. And, okay, let's just, again, sound check. Can y'all hear that?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'll just do a little bit of vocal to start. Still falling. I don't remember the words yet.
Sounds great.
All right, let's try it then. I'll do it for realsies.
Amanda Benjamin performing live some Mazzy Star Into Dust.
And once again, we'll fix this in post. Let me get my, I did it. I did what I literally always do on this show. Okay, let me try this first. My default browser has always been Firefox. And for whatever reason, Firefox does not auto scroll. It does not auto scroll. I don't know why. So usually what I end up doing, because I don't want to deal with auto scroll, is I just put 2 tabs up and split the screen. So let's see if it'll do it for me today. One side, 2 sides. Okay.
I believe in your auto scroll.
I know, right?
I believe in your Firefox.
Let's do it, Firefox. You can do it. Okay, let's see.
Go, Firefox, go.
Go, Gadget Firefox. Yes. Yes. Okay, we're almost there. All right. It looks like it's working. Here we go. Still falling, breathless and on again, inside today, beside today, around and broken into, till your eyes shed into dust, like 2 strangers turning into dust, till my hands shook with the weight of fear. I could possibly be fading, or have something more to gain. I could feel myself growing colder. I could feel myself under your fate. Under your fate. It was you, breathless and tall. I could feel my eyes turning into dust, into strangers turning into dust, turning into dust.
Amanda Benjamin.
And
Rocking
that's,
some Into Dust by Mazzy Star.
It's such a good song. It's sad, but it's a really good song.
I don't know if I'd characterize it as bleak.
Like I said, it's like minimal. It's just hard to describe, right?
Yeah. Simple, beautiful,
haunting. It's
haunting.
I said that's what I imagine. You know, turn into dust. It's just gone, disappeared.
Yeah. Give it up one more time for Amanda.
And Dari's going to bed, so bye, Dari.
Good night, Dari. Sleep well.
Dari will catch the rest later.
Catch it like a
falling
conspiracy or falling star.
Put it in your pocket.
You
No.
That's the thing, and that's what I really, as we have admittedly dealt with the challenge of being consistent with these shows, like they're always out there, and Amanda and I have had conversations behind the scenes where it's like out there in the podcast world, based on the subject matter and the storytelling, we actually do find new listeners pretty much every
regularly.
Right in the podcast realm.
Like just this week they were like, hey, just so you know, you had like 80 new listens this week. I was like, wow, and
they're all across the world. It's not just like some friends of yours. It's people out there love mysteries, love hearing live music and fun banter between friends. So if anybody out there's listening and has never been a part of the Audacity Network YouTube family, guess what? You didn't know it, but you are part of the family now.
You are.
But find us over here on the Audacity Network on YouTube. We do live streams. Amanda does them every week, as we've established, and then we have some shows that go every other week, and we have other shows that pop in here and there. But
it's a good time.
I also want to thank again all of our Patreon.
Yes.
All of our Patreon supporters who continue to support the Magical Mystery Hour. We cherish you and your support so much. And if you are on Patreon and want to hop over and check us out, find us and say hello.
And we even have like nights, like what we've done with the Patreon nights that evolved, because I had so many ideas in the beginning of what we want to do. But something we actually landed on that we all love is if you are any level of Patreon, you get invited. You just have to send me your information so I can get you. We have like a little Facebook chat, or I guess I should put them up on the Patreon page. It would probably be a good idea. But we have readings every week, or not every week, but usually once a month, except when we had these crazy busy times. Usually once a month, I'll read some kind of a horror story. So like a lot of Poe and H.P. Lovecraft, and tried a couple other things, but we always go back to those two, our favorites. And then David will often hop on and make an original piano piece based on the story. It's really fun.
If you're a new listener listening, you have no idea what we're talking about. David is her husband. Oh, yeah. He's a classical pianist, and he plays solo shows on the network a bunch, but he also collaborates with these mystery tales.
Yes, and he wrote our theme music as well.
Yes, when you hear our theme music, that is his work.
Yeah. So like once a month, he'll just do an original improvisation based on a story.
Cool. So special. It's unique. It's something you can't just go to the store and buy.
And if you want to check it out, there's one that's was up. It's public. It's you can just check it out without needing a link, so you can see what it's like. It's fun.
If you have no idea what Patreon is, it's it's basically a Facebook, but you can support your creators of your favorite content, and then you get specific and unique content for the supporters of those shows. So,
and also just putting it out there, if you are one of the Patreon people, especially like we have a couple who are in like our top tiers who still need to get their merch. I just need your address. Since I know you're listening.
Come on now. Um, it's always great to get updates. I wanted to announce something cool.
Yes.
I didn't have I'm sorry, I was not prepared, but I was thinking about this magical mystery hour, you know, all of the things that we've covered since we started it. I don't even remember how long ago we started it. I know we're like in our second season, but
how long ago was that? I don't know.
We could have been doing this for 3 years now, and I wouldn't be surprised. But one of our episodes, we had somebody in the chat can tell us, when was the first episode of Magical Mystery Hour?
Yeah.
But one of our guests was a gal named Jackie, who was a medium.
Yes.
And when she was on our show, Amanda and I encouraged her. We said, you have the personality for it, and why wouldn't you start your own podcast?
Yes.
And she recently did.
Yes, finally.
And we were like, hello, thank you.
We should be on your podcast.
I didn't say that.
No,
I just said.
I'm just putting it out into the world right now.
Well, I'm sure if we hit her up, she'd be like, yeah, sure. And it's also good to get updates from I'm constantly checking on stories that we've covered that I want to know answers to. And I'm excited to let everybody know that I recently checked updates on stories that I was excited to check updates for. And a couple of my favorites are, I'll start with the vanishing one. The first vanishing one we did, I talked about the gentleman who went into the bar and disappeared in Ohio.
That was a fascinating one.
Brian Schaefer, one of the most mind-blowing cases. I checked in on that, and the update is no new anything.
Oh, man.
He's still missing. No new leads.
Dang.
Crazy. If you've never heard of this, there's a college student who went into a bar and never came out, and nobody knows what happened to him.
It's a really, really good, fascinating case. It's
wild. Go back and check it out if you haven't heard that story. It's right here on the Magical Mystery Hour. Now, as you know, one of the cases closest to my heart is the Ray Rivera episode, where he went missing, but then he was found mysteriously dead and crushed under a hole in a hotel ceiling in Baltimore. I ended up going to that hotel, going to the bar where he was supposed to meet his friend the night he died, and I stood outside the room where his body was found. It's a gripping tale. Look up Ray Rivera. I did to find out if there were any updates, and unfortunately, no.
Dang.
Still no updates in the Ray Rivera cases. And Reddit threads, they all go down, like his friends are in on it, his coworkers are in on it, and so we may never know.
Yeah.
Sad. This is all a segue to my vanished tonight. That was the wrong button.
I was gonna say that was a really upbeat vanishing segue. You're like, hooray, they vanished. Okay.
No, it's just magic. She just like went up in a magical dust sputter.
Oh no, into dust.
Looks like there's conflicting opening dates for Magical Mystery Hour. We'll figure it out. But I found this case that I was surprised I had never heard of before, and it was the vanishing of a woman by the name of Angela Green.
Ooh. Have
you heard that name before?
I'm trying to remember, because the name I was like, oh yeah, but then again, it's kind of I want to say like a generic name, but like not a terribly unique. I know some Greens, so I'm gonna reserve my judgment until I hear it.
All right, well, let me introduce you.
Okay.
I don't have the fancy optics that Amanda does as far as like sharing my photos, so it's gonna look kind of clunky for anybody watching on the YouTubes. But I want to introduce you. Oh, I can't share.
Oh, allow. It covered your face. It was like,
This is Miss Angela Green. Beautiful in this photo. She's a young lady. She was born and raised in China. And she met her future husband, Jeff Green, who I will show you here, together. In the 1980s, while she was living in China, Jeff was there for work. He worked in the automotive industry, and he was there for kind of an extended amount of time. And through their business connections, he knew Angela's grandparents. And Angela's grandparents wanted to introduce them. The introduction was made. There was a spark. Soon after, Jeff had to come home to the United States of America, but they kept in touch. This was the 80s. This was before...
It's hard to keep in touch.
AOL Instant Messenger. Before text messaging, before FaceTime, before text messaging.
Was there even
AOL
such a time?
Right? Yeah. There was the 1980s. I was alive. I was too young for text messaging or AOL Instant Messenger, but they kept in touch over the phone and through the mail. And there was a spark. Something grew to the level, at least, that late in the 80s, 1988 to be exact, Angela came to the United States on a K-1 visa, which is a fiance visa, which I think is what married in 90 days or 90-day fiance. It's that whole thing. Like, if you're outside the United States, you have 90 days. You can come here on this visa, and you have 90 days to get married before the visa's up, and you got to go back.
Also, Dave would like to correct you and says that there was email in the 80s. I did not know that.
Raise your hand if you were using it.
I know, yeah. Did like normal people use it?
Like maybe it existed, but Bill Gates.
Like, was that real? I don't know.
Bill Gates and Steve Jobs were like emailing each other every day. Look what we can do that no one else can.
It's like Alexander Graham Bell with the phone. It's like, look what I made. But I also will say I did recognize her picture. So, and the story it's like starting to come into my mind. But so I'm gonna keep listening.
Okay. Well, it's a relatively new story. I will continue. Here we go.
Okay, here we go.
So she came on this visa and she stayed with her older sister Catherine in Kansas, close to where Jeff lived. And I couldn't find anywhere any photos of Catherine, but Catherine had a little baby girl, a daughter named Michelle. And so Angela and Michelle became pretty close. She was her babysitter whenever Catherine needed someone to watch Michelle. This is them on Jeff's on the day she married Jeff. That's Jeff and Angela and Michelle. So it's her niece, her sister's daughter. And I'll flash forward since I have the photos open, but eventually we'll get to the part where Jeff and Angela have a daughter as well. And then here's all of them at the breakfast table. It's Jeff. Right to left, Jeff and Angela's daughter, her name is Ellie. And then there's Angela and Michelle, the niece. They were like a close family. And Michelle has a lot of really great memories of her aunt Angela from when she moved to the United States. They used to do crafts together. She used to, as I mentioned, watch her whenever her parents had things to do. all of it kind of because Angela, when she got to the United States, she was kind of secluded from social life. She never, this is interesting, she never got a job in the United States. Mm-hmm. She never even, I had a bunch of sources I read said she never even got a credit card, which to me is different than never opened a bank account. But it leads me to believe maybe she never opened a bank account. Maybe she was added to her husband's bank account, but it just seems like she didn't have a whole lot of independence once she got here.
Right.
She and Jeff got married within that 90-day window, and now she was living here in the United States with Jeff, who was obviously the breadwinner since she never held a job.
Right. Okay.
And so she really just was connected. Her parents were in China. Her sister was in a nearby town, her sister Catherine, and she would watch her niece Michelle a bunch. But other than that, it was just kind of like she was really into gardening and baking.
Okay.
Both of which you just do at home. Mm-hmm. So this kind of bubble or cocoon started to kind of form around the household. But eventually, I don't know if I have exactly how far after they got married. They eventually, as I mentioned, had their first and only child in Ellie, who you see pictured there. I think I have a picture. This was right after Ellie was born. There's Jeff and Angela and Ellie, and again there's Ellie a little bit more grown up. What happened when Ellie was born was Angela became a total, and I just learned this term. Maybe I think you probably already know it. So you can explain it to our listeners. A tiger mom?
Oh, yeah. A tiger mom. Okay. Tiger mom's like a super controlling mom, like gonna watch over, right? Everything. That's how I understand it.
Yeah.
Like very on top of it.
Very, very controlling. Very, you will become the best that I can possibly make you version.
I mean, all you have to imagine is that your mom is a tiger, and what would you do? And that's you know, you got it.
I guess there you go. So Angela being here, not having any sort of social connections, now just having a baby, her whole entire existence becomes making this baby the best person I possibly can. And she does. According to Ellie, later on in life, like her mom used terms like was obsessed with her. She was her mom's whole life. She just became completely developed in, this is my project, or I don't want to call anyone's child a project, but this is why I'm here.
Yeah.
To give her the best, shape her into the best thing I possibly can. And she did a fantastic job. And Ellie, her daughter, would say later on, like, my mom was the best. Like, I was her everything. She supported me every way she could. Ellie ended up graduating high school with the highest honors. Wow. She was in piano as young as she could be in piano. She became a musician and just a brilliant young lady. And by this time when Ellie was graduating high school, she had a lot of opportunities for college. And one of the things that Ellie wanted to do her first year out to kind of, if you can understand, break away from all this was she wanted to study abroad. She could kind of imagine how mom might take that.
Mm-hmm.
So in all of the preparation, all of the application processes and everything, she strictly spoke to dad.
Right.
Jeff.
The
She's
story
like,
just went, I remember. That little bit. Okay.
Okay.
Just update for everybody who's wondering. I got it.
So she wants to study abroad. She's like, Dad, can I do this? Dad's like, yeah, sure. Go for it. Your mom's not going to like that. So let's not tell mom till we absolutely have to. So the day before Ellie is leaving to go study abroad, mom finds out and kind of flies off the handle.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, put yourself in Angela's shoes. Like, you guys have been conspiring behind my back, first of all. But second of all, what am I going to do? Not only is this empty nest syndrome, this is like empty nest to the max because she has nothing else.
Yeah.
Than to, first of all,
no,
you're going off to college. Second of all, you're going overseas.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
We have, so when I was working in school, we do a lot of training, right? On like various, like abuses that can happen, things like that. And one thing that they always are like, as far as like, say, other adults, if you, and especially teachers, stuff, if you see this and it's that, it's a big red flag is when somebody says, you keep this secret from your parents. This is for us. It is a really, really big red flag. So separating a kid from their parents and making you their confidant as a
Yeah.
big giant
but
red
imagine
flag.
like it's parent.
Yeah,
It's a
exactly.
parent.
But it's that's what I mean. It's gonna be like it's a parent separating from another parent, and this is our little secret. Like I said, it's a even in parents that is a big red flag. Don't like.
So she gets away. She studies abroad the first year of college. She comes home. Angela's a little unhinged. She's a little off from what she was when Ellie left, which you can understand.
Yeah.
You pour your whole life into this human, and then they go behind your back to go away for the school year, and now they're back. And what have you been through while they were gone with your husband? Who even knows how that all went down?
Your husband who lied to you.
So Ellie's super stoked to be back home for the summer. Angela is even more stoked to have her home for the summer. Now she has a project. And it was either the night she got back or the next day. Ellie told her mom, hey, I'm going to go hang out with my friends. And Angela was like, I'm sorry you just got back. And Ellie was like, yeah, and I'm going to be here all summer. I want to go hang out with my friends. And this sparked a ginormous fight. And Angela kicked Ellie out of the house. Ellie says, this never happened to me before. Angela said, take your clothes and leave. Don't come back until I say you can. And Ellie's like, okay, I don't know who this person is who's my mom now, but all right. So she packs a bag full of her clothes and she leaves as she's instructed, and she goes to her boyfriend Zach's family's house. And she waits for her mom to let her know it's cool to come back. She's just like, it's not going to take that long. Like, mom's going to be like, this was, okay, so let me set the stage. So this was June 19th, 2019.
Okay.
So right before 2020, which we know everybody turns into COVID, but not right before. So
It's like 6 months.
June 19th, 2020. June 19th, 2019. I try to clarify and I make it worse. So if you can just break it down in your mind. Yes, exactly what Amanda just said. 6 months before 2020. Boom, get out of here.
And then we forgot everything that happened between and then and now. It's a blur.
I mean, a skip forward in time is kind of what happens because so Ellie's just spending time at her boyfriend's house waiting for mom to be like, I'm sorry, please come back, or let's talk about it. Come on.
Wait, how long was it? Sorry. It didn't stick in my mind.
So she's waiting. Ellie's waiting.
Oh, you didn't say. Okay.
One day goes by. I got to play some suspenseful music for it to all tie together. One day goes by. 2 days go by. 3 days go by. She's just like, okay, mom's digging in her heels because, like, as far as I know, she really loves me and she wants to hang out with me, but what the hell? Like, this is really weird. She must be really mad at me. And on the 4th day, she gets a text. Who do you think it was from?
I'm guessing it's Dad.
It's from Dad.
Yeah, it's not
How'd you know?
Mom. Because too long has gone by. Something's wrong. Something's wrong.
So Dad texts and says, hey, sweetie.
Yeah.
You can come home. Mom's in a mental institution. And Ellie says, what? And this is all over text. Like, she has screenshots. They, I guess, don't call each other. They just text. I mean, this sounds like something I want to tell my kids. 2019.
2019. We're into the new tech. No, it's very strange.
He says, yeah. So after your fight with your mom, she went off the deep end. She got physical with me. I needed to figure out how to get her help in a way that was safe for her. So I contacted a local mental institution, and I knew it was going to be really hard for them to drag her out of our house. So they agreed to meet me in the local grocery store parking lot. And I thought that was a great idea because, you know, mom kind of wears comfortable clothes around the house, but when she knows she's going out, she dresses up. So, I wanted to make sure she looked good when she was being taken away by the mental institution people. So she got all dressed up to go grocery shopping, which wasn't weird for Ellie because Angela literally wouldn't go grocery shopping alone. In case she was such an introvert, she was afraid of people stopping to make small talk.
Oh.
So she would only go to a grocery store with somebody else just so she wouldn't have to socialize with strangers or neighbors that she was uncomfortable with. So here's what happened. So we were going to the grocery store and we pulled up in the parking lot, and that's where the mental institution people met us, and they took her. There was a struggle, but we made it pretty minimal. Not a lot of people turned their heads when she was screaming, and they put her in the van and took her away.
Wait, and this is still over text?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all over text. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
And so Ellie's like, oh, okay. Where is she? Can I go see her? Yeah. Like, Ellie's feeling really bad now. She's like, what did I do to my mom just by wanting to hang out with my friends? Ellie loves her mom. They had a fight. So Dad says, yeah, I don't think that's a good idea. You should probably wait till all of the evaluations are done and we know she's not going to get violent with you because she got violent with me. And until there's a diagnosis that we can tell people, you probably shouldn't go visit her. And Ellie's like, okay. I could just take her flowers or like food or something. And he's like, no, just hang off until I say you should. It's okay. And Ellie's like, wow, okay. And he says, but you can come home whenever. And she's like, I'm good. I'm happy here at Zach's house. His family's cool. So Jeff texts back, also probably don't tell your Aunt Catherine and your cousin Michelle. Just until we know more. Until we know what's wrong. We don't want them to worry. And Ellie's like, that's weird that he would say that because I'm pretty sure Mom hasn't spoken to them in like a year and a half. But okay, Dad. Sounds good. All right. So Ellie doesn't say anything. She tells like her boyfriend Zach's family like what's going on. Like and they comfort her and just kind of live their lives for the next couple of weeks. Like Ellie hasn't been living at home. She studied abroad. This fight happened. She's been living at Zach's house. And now that Mom's not even there, like I guess she and her dad don't have, right. I don't know. I'd be bummed if Everly didn't want to hang out with me, but apparently there's no urgency to just like be home and hang out with your father or your daughter.
Because imagine she's still in town, right?
Yeah, they're still in town.
Okay.
So like another 2 weeks go by. And Jeff texts Ellie and he goes, hey, we need to talk. And Ellie's like, okay. And he's like, can you come home? And she's like, no, I'm hanging out. I'm hanging out with Zach and his family.
Maybe you should just meet me at the grocery store parking lot.
And Jeff says, all right, can I swing by? And Ellie's like, yeah, we're about to go see a movie or something, but yeah, if you can come by soon, yeah. So Ellie and Zach, they're about to go do whatever they're about to go do. Jeff pulls up in his car, gets out. Zach hangs out by the car that they were about to get in. Angela goes to see her dad. I'm sorry. Ellie goes to see her dad. And Jeff tells Ellie, Angela has died of a stroke. Not your mom has died. Angela has died of a stroke. Ellie falls to her knees. She's shocked. She doesn't know what to think. He says, yeah, the hospital called me while I was at work today and said that she died in her sleep and it was a stroke. Ellie doesn't know what to say. She doesn't know how to process this. Mm-mm. And he said it so quietly to her that Zach's still up the driveway looking at them like, what the hell is happening? So Jeff walks up to Zach and says, Angela has died of a stroke. And Zach's like, what? Jeff gets back in his car and leaves. Ellie's on her knees, sobbing in the driveway.
He doesn't even try to comfort her.
Zach's just like, huh? And Jeff gets in his car and leaves.
Wow.
So Ellie doesn't know quite what to do, and she's like trying to gather her wits. She's texting with her dad, and she's like, Dad, that was really weird how you just showed up and dropped that on me and left. And so he texts her back, I'm sorry, baby. I don't know how to process this. I've never felt this kind of grief before. I don't know how to deal with this. Please excuse my strange reactions. I just don't know what I'm doing. And she's like, okay. And she's feeling bad for her dad. And he's like, but also, in this difficult time, please don't tell your aunt and cousin about this. And just until I can figure out the funeral arrangements and I'm able to deal with my grief. And please come talk to me if you need to talk. And she's like, okay, all right. And Jeff's like, so are you coming home? And she's like, no, I think I'm good. I have a good situation here at Zach's family's house, and it's just not the same, I imagine, without Mom there. So I'm good right now. So he's like, okay, cool. But they still hang out from time to time. She'll come back to the house and have like lunch or get things from her room. And days go by. And she's like, Dad, are there plans for a funeral yet? And he's like, I'm still dealing with it. Like, there's going to be a funeral. I just don't know when. And she's like, okay. All right. Couple more weeks go by. Dad, so like, is there going to be a funeral? Or is there going to be anything? And Jeff's just like, I don't know, man. I don't know what the culture in China is. And I've never lost somebody close to me before. So I'm just still trying to figure it out, babe. And she's like, okay.
Stop believing this guy.
More weeks go by. 8 months pass.
Oh my God. And where do you think she is at this point as the daughter? You have to like ask, where's my mom's body? Right? Like, this is a like places don't hold them for 8 months unless it's like an investigation. The morgue just doesn't hold it.
That's going to come up. Yeah. So finally, Ellie, like, it's February of 2020 now. The last time she saw her mom was the fight that was June 19th, 2019. It's been 8 months. She can't hold it in anymore. She finally calls her aunt, Angela's sister, Catherine. Catherine picks up, happy to hear from Ellie, and Ellie's just sobbing. There's like 2 minutes of sobbing on the phone till finally Ellie says to Catherine, my mom is dead. And Catherine's like, oh my God. What happened? And Ellie says, she was admitted to a mental institution and she had a stroke in her sleep. And Catherine's like, oh my God, honey, when was this? And Ellie says, in June. And Catherine's like, 8 months ago?
You're just telling me now.
And she's like, yeah. Why didn't you? What? How am I just now getting a call? oh, my dad's been dealing with this and it's been so hard, and we didn't, we've never experienced anything like this before. We just don't know what to do. And now Michelle, who was around Angela a lot when she was growing up, babysat her a bunch. She's a lawyer now. And she's like, I'm sorry, what? We haven't, huh? And so this starts a little bit of a problem for Jeff, because now the family knows. And while the family is grieving the loss, 8 months later, they want specific details.
Mm-hmm.
So
where was she in the institution? What, like, where is this place? Can I call them? Who was her doctor? What did they say?
So Michelle, the lawyer, now is like, could you send us a copy of her death certificate?
Mm-hmm. Good on her.
And Ellie's like, yeah, I'll be right back. Ellie goes to talk to Jeff. Hey, could you email me a copy of Mom's death certificate? And Jeff goes, oh, I don't know if they ever sent that to me. And so Ellie calls Catherine and Michelle back, and she's like, yeah, my dad doesn't think he ever got it. This gal, like, she is just, dad can do no wrong, I guess. Like, never hasn't questioned dad at all in her mind. And you can understand that as a daughter, maybe.
Okay, so this is what I'm going back to. So there is definitely, based on what I've heard, he's basically like grooming. He's been grooming her. Like with that's the thing with the like, let's keep this secret from Mom. It's you and me. I'm gonna get you what you want because I love you. Don't It's Sarah and her. It's the same thing. Don't tell your aunts. This is just our thing because they're just gonna worry. It's just between us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that she has been groomed by him.
And part of it too is just how isolated Angela has been since she's come to the United States. Like, Jeff has locked her down, it seems like.
Very unfortunate.
So she tells Catherine and Michelle, yeah, my dad says he never got a death certificate. So they said, okay, you can go to the records office and get it and send it to us. So the next day, Ellie goes down to the state of Kansas records office and requests her mom's death certificate. Guess what they told her, Amanda? Guess.
I mean, I have no idea, but I will take a wild guess and say we don't know what you're talking about. We don't have one for her.
There is not one on record.
Yep.
Her stomach drops. And this is the first time Ellie's like questioning if her mom actually died in that mental institution of a stroke. Like, this is literally the first time Ellie's confronted with the idea that, what? So she's like, what does that mean? And they tell her, well, here in the state of Kansas, your mother has not been registered as a dead person. And, over there, outside of California, states are kind of smaller. Most states are kind of smaller. And so it's like, you never know how close a border is. Like, what institution did Mom die in? So she's thinking maybe just outside of Kansas was another mental institution that picked her up in the parking lot of a grocery store that she took her to, and she died of a stroke overnight. Maybe. So she goes and she calls
Sweet
Auntie
baby
and
Angel.
cousin, and she says, hey, so there's no death certificate in the state of Kansas. And so she's like, but I've been told, you could, maybe she died somewhere outside the state or whatever. And Catherine and Michelle are like, okay, well, we're going to call your local law enforcement and have them go do a welfare check on your mom at the house. And Ellie's like, okay, cool.
Oh, yeah. Ellie has not been back to the house, right?
She has, but it was when mom was either in the institution or mom was dead.
Yeah. Okay, so she go back once at least.
She's been back a few times.
Okay.
But now that, like, lawyer cousin Michelle is hearing this stuff, she's like, So police go to perform their welfare check at the house. To their joy and jubilation, Michelle and Catherine receive a call back from law enforcement saying, great news. Your sister's alive. Angela's alive. She's not dead. And they're like, huh? Yeah, we spoke to her husband, Jeff. She's just out of town with her girlfriends on a girlfriend weekend. She's not... everything's good. And they go, oh, that's what he told you? Yeah, we just talked to him. She's perfectly fine. Okay. So he's been telling his daughter she's dead for the past 8 months, and he's telling police that she's out of town with her girlfriends.
For 8 months.
For the weekend.
Just for the weekend.
Yeah.
So where's she been the rest of the time? What about the other part of the 8 months?
Well, some things can get lost in translation on a welfare check, from someone calling to the dispatcher to the police officers on the street.
I guess that's fair. It's fair.
So they go, So they call the police station back and they say, here, listen to us. Here is the situation. Dad has been telling daughter she's dead for the past 8 months. Now he just told your officers she's away for the weekend and perfectly fine. And so they get in touch with the law enforcement supervisor there, and he goes, all right, I'll head back over there. So the same day, I assume it's a sergeant or whatever their version of a supervisor is, goes over and goes, hey, can I just clarify something? We heard your wife is dead. You said she's out of town for the weekend. What's actually going on? And so Jeff says to this law enforcement supervisor, yeah, so I've been telling my daughter she's dead because she does this thing where she just leaves the house and I never know when she's coming back. So I just thought it would be easier for her to just kind of mourn mom like she's dead, as opposed to, not ever knowing when mom was coming back. She's in college. She'll get over it. Like, everything's going to be fine.
She'll get over it. No big deal.
And so the sergeant's like, when will your wife be back here in this house? And he says, well, she said she was going to be here Monday. She's going to come home Monday, but who knows? And the sergeant's like, call her right now. And Jeff says, I would do that, but she left her cell phone here. And the sergeant says, okay, cool. I'm going to be back Monday, and I want to see your wife. And Jeff's like, all right, I'm sure she'll be back. Great news. Oh, what a long weekend happens then. Sergeant comes back, knocks on the door. Jeff cracks the door open. Out comes his hand with a business card to his criminal defense attorney.
Yep.
His lawyer. He says, I'm not answering any questions. If you have any questions, please contact my lawyer.
Wow.
Ellie finds out. She goes to the police station to fill out a missing persons report. And while she's there, Jeff calls. And she puts him on speaker in front of the detectives. And so the detectives start feeding her questions. Ask him, where's your mom's body? hey, Dad, so like, where is Mom's body? And he's like, oh, well, she was cremated. I have her ashes here at the house. Ellie says, she was cremated, so you saw her body? And he was like, well, not exactly. And then one of the detectives is asking, like, ask him what state she died in. And Ellie asks, you know, where did she get taken? Where was this institution? What state? And he's like, I don't remember. And she's like, okay, cool. Because here's the thing. I checked Kansas and there's no death certificate for her in the state. And he was like, oh yeah, no, it was somewhere down south. And she's like, where down south? And he's like, I don't remember the name of the place. I'll have to go find that paperwork. And she's like, you don't remember the name of the place that you committed your wife to where she died? And he's like, yeah, no. And so she goes, are there any records at the house from the cremation? Like, where was she cremated? And he goes, oh, I don't know. I got a phone call from a guy someday that said, would you like her cremated or buried? And I said, cremated. And he said, cool. That's going to cost $1,500. I'll come by and get the cash. So he came to the house and he got the cash for the $1,500. And then a couple of days later, he brought back the urn with the ashes in it. And it's on our mantle. It's here. You can come see it. And she's just like, yeah, okay. Well, maybe next time I'm there, you can show me Mom's ashes on the counter. So now full... Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, okay, but this $1,500 cash, where did he get it? Like, so the idea is that it's not traceable, but he had to get it from somewhere, right? Like, it would give us a timeline, because you can't just... Most people just have $1,500 laying around.
Random dude calls you and says, hey, what do you want to do with your wife's body? If you give me $1,500 in cash, I'll bring you an urn of ashes.
I mean, yeah, obviously that didn't happen. But what I'm thinking is he did pay somebody $1,500.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Didn't even think of that.
Yeah. I've got a whole thing in my mind now.
Okay. So the police launch a full-blown investigation. They search every mental institution in the believable area. There's no sign of any Angela Green being checked in. They do a nationwide search of death certificate records. There are none. And so now we go into full... I guess I could share one more photo if I can find it. But... So Ellie, she's this beautiful girl. She's this beautiful college girl, and she uses social media platforms now. She's like jumping on to every talk show that will listen about her missing mom, and saying, you know, if anybody has any clues, any ideas, or just any information about where my mom might be, please share it. She, like, you could just Google, you could YouTube it. She hit a ton of the morning talk shows. She was, again, this was pretty recent. This was in 2020. And she was just pleading with everybody, please tell me if you have any information about my mom. This whole investigation's going on. So she's blasting out on social media on all nationwide platforms. The cops are searching. They search. Oh, so part of that is she goes on Dr. Phil, and Dr. Phil's production team ends up having her bring a sample of soil from her backyard, and cadaver dogs hit on it. So that's enough to get a warrant to search her house and another plot of land that her father owns, which is crazy in and of itself. So they have the family home, and then they have this 35-acre plot of land that Jeff keeps his vintage car collection on. There's also a pond. Oh, and wait, over the past 8 months or so, the city decided they were going to break ground on their new courthouse, which was about a block away from their vacant land, and entered in an agreement with Jeff that they could dump all of their dirt from the construction site on Jeff's land. But the big stickler of the agreement was Jeff was like, yeah, but I don't want just like loose dirt all over my land. Whatever dirt you bring over here, you make sure they pack it tight. So over the past 8 months, while Angela was missing, before she was reported missing, the city has been bringing over dirt and packing it as tight as they can on top of the land in Jeff's family's 35-acre lot.
It's so hard.
Stranger than fiction, right? Like
you can't make it up.
Write
Yeah.
that?
No.
Throughout the course of the investigation, they take cadaver dogs to the house. Jeff had actually bought another piece of property in a town a couple towns over,
just for funsies.
They searched that. Nothing. Like there's a couple random hits, but nothing that the cadaver dogs hit. But nothing worth really investigating. So, that's kind of where every few months or so new tips pop up. There's a private investigator who originally offered $25,000, bumped it up to $50,000. It's at $50,000 now for any tips that lead to the arrest of anybody in this case. But that's kind of where it left off. Jeff's totally dissociated from Ellie. Like they don't talk anymore.
Wow.
Which is, to me as a father, that is smoking gun number one. Like, if anything, okay, I gotta rewind to just say, like, so his story ended up being to her. I don't know if we completely covered it or if I need to rehash. I don't know where mom is, and I'm not going to worry about it because she obviously doesn't want to be here with us. So either alluding to she ran off with another man, or she went back home to China, or she found some friends that planned an escape for her from her life. But Ellie just maintains, like, I was my mom's life. She would not have left, even though we had a fight. She would not have left and just not told me where she was going or kept me as a part of her life. Like, I am her project. I am her everything. I am her world. She stopped doing interviews. She's living a very private life now. But from what I can tell, that's where it is now. It's still an open investigation. You can Google it. You can find recent things on the news about local news networks pleading for help, anybody who has a lead. But the main thing is now that just like the family is resigned to the fact that she's no longer alive. Right. But they would like justice. They think somebody out there knows something, and they want closure for this, even though they don't have much hope. But this is a tale in which somebody vanished, and it feels like the smoking gun is so obviously in someone's hand, but there's just, you know what they say about like time passing, and in cases like this, the 8 months that passed before she was reported missing, that was huge.
Yeah, I can't imagine how she must feel that her daughter, like, just knowing, like, if I had just said something, it all could have been different. And maybe not. Maybe it would have ended up the same. But, like, that guilt that she has to hold on to because of him, that's terrible.
And she's just doing what her dad told her to do.
Yeah.
And
Because she
she
trusted
had
him. That's her dad.
It's dad, and I have no reason to not trust what he's telling me.
Yeah.
But I mean, the fact that he's not even trying to repair or maintain any sort of relationship now just to me screams psychopath. And obvious answer to what became of Angela.
Yeah.
But
that's crazy. I can't help but feel like, and I always say this, like when I see these kind of cases with, you know, married people, and it obviously we don't know that he got rid of her, but that's what it looks like. And it's like when those kind of things happen, because we've seen that happen time and time again. Why don't you just get divorced? Like, why does this happen? You know, like, because it does. People are like, well, I was so unhappy, you know, and it's like, oh, just leave. Just leave.
There is a part of the story where so Ellie messaged Jeff's brother Brad and his wife Marva, asking, you know, do you know anything about where my mom went? Or no. So this was right after Jeff lawyered up. Ellie texted Brad and Marva, so my dad just got a lawyer in my mom's missing case, and they had texted her something back super sus, like, yeah, well, accidents happen, and he probably just wanted to be sure that he was protected or covered.
Yeah.
And she was like, what accidents? What do you mean? And they were like, oh no, we were just saying like accidents happen. I don't know. Accidents happen. And just shrugged it off that way. Like, oh, we were just saying like, it's probably not a big thing. Your dad's probably fine. He probably didn't kill your mom. I don't know, accidents.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Oh, and yeah, David was saying, you know, abuse, it makes a difference. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying in that case. I'm saying like there are instances of people who are just like, I'm unhappy with my wife. Like there's, oh my God, what was that? Just reason one, but I can't remember his name right now. It was super famous, and he was having an affair with a woman, and his wife was pregnant, and he's like, I want to be with this woman, so clearly I just need to kill my wife. And I'm like, there is a thing called divorce.
Right.
Like, I don't understand what happens in the brain that makes that the best answer. You know? Oh, it drives me crazy. Like,
it's you know, it's what is it in the brain that makes serial killers feel okay or enjoy killing people?
Yeah.
Like
there is something in the brain.
I'm gonna go back to the old reasoning of it all comes back to the parents. Like, teach your kids.
Yeah.
Just be honest.
Yeah.
And take the most honest way out of any situation. You get a job. I got a job as a telemarketer once, and I worked there for like 2 days, and I didn't feel good about what I was doing.
Yep.
But I went in and I said, I don't feel good about doing this, and I quit. And it felt shitty doing that. Mm-hmm. Walking into the office and saying, thanks for hiring me, but I don't feel good about this and I'm leaving. But that's a lot easier than me living with the guilt that I'm conning people every day out of their money. It's just like, I think it's so much of it is your values and how you're raised. And like, you can look at a terrible relationship as, should I get a divorce or should I murder them? And there's a pretty fine line.
Yeah, it is.
Divorce is tough.
It is. Yeah, it's not easy. It's not like, oh, hey, we're done. Bye. You know, it's a whole thing. But, and again, this does not include, again, like cases of abuse or serious mental illness where this is, you know, but it's just such a case of like just a thing gone too far. It's like, wow. I don't know. But my feeling on this case after listening to you tell it, because I feel like I know I've heard this story, but there's much more here than I remember hearing before. And my feeling about what happened here is that the parking lot thing happened, but it wasn't mental institution. I think he had her taken, like kidnapped or something killed. And that's, again, where the $1,500 is coming from. So the parking lot story, the $1,500, I think he's covering bases. Because, again, they're going to be able to trace that you had to get the money from somewhere, you know. And
that's brilliant. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Like, somebody picked her up in that parking lot. And he's being honest, like, some heads turned and saw this commotion going on. So if anybody asks, that commotion at Vaughn's yesterday in the afternoon, you saw that on Nextdoor? That was just her being taken by a mental institution, not by people who are going to kill her and dispose of her body.
I really feel like that the whole time he was just covering bases little by little. You know, so not one thing didn't sound too suspicious. You just throw out the little breadcrumbs.
In everything I watched and read about this, that theory was never proposed. So
well,
good on
look
you,
at
Amanda.
me.
Yes.
It's all this true crime stuff. It's clicking.
There you go.
I mean, but there's still nothing to link in it, especially, you know, to link anybody else to it is, it's terrible.
And this is another case I'm going to keep watching. I'm going to keep with, you know, Schaefer and Ray Rivera, and this one. I'm just like, so many of these, I'm just like, is there anything new today?
Yeah.
Every once in a while, I'll check back in because I feel, you know, connect. We are but a low and peasant podcast here on the Magical Mystery Hour, but I feel connected to these cases that we cover. And the next time there is a resolvement in any of these, or in just any sort of update in any of these, we'll keep you all posted. And the next time we see an alien ship doing donuts around a biplane, we'll keep you posted.
Yes.
And that's what we do here on the Magical Mystery Hour. Make sure you like and subscribe. Yes. If you're on an audio podcast, make sure you're following the show so you get updates whenever we post new audio versions of the show. We have so many.
I know.
in the chamber, ready to
We're
launch
like, oh
off.
God, just got to edit those things.
But find us here on the Vodacity Network on YouTube. And we will keep you up to date on all of the latest magical mysteries and music.
All right. Well, we always on this show do a duet at the end of our stories. And so, we were like, what should we do? And threw out a couple ideas. Oddly, all of my I can only remember 2 of my suggestions now, but they were both very jazzy. I just realized.
We always talk about how, like, sometimes it feels like we're shoehorning the idea into the theme, but you kind of have to when it comes to, like, I can't think of any song written about a husband that murders and buries his wife, but if I did, we would have done that in the first season, when the first time we had a Vanishing. So we kind of just, you know, take the spirit of the song, like the spirit of the law, but we love jazz. We have a shared love of Nora Jones music, and one of your suggestions was a Nora Jones tune.
It was. I love this one. It's one of my faves. So we settled on Don't Know Why.
And Amanda's gonna do her magic where we've talked about several times on the show, but I'll just send her my half of it. And then she somehow makes it work as a duet, whether it's pre-recorded or live. And tonight, I think she's singing live.
Yeah, I'm gonna sing live. I'll see what comes out. We're pretty well separated in most of this, so you know. But I might try a few things. It's live. Why not?
Do it live.
All right.
We have time to fix it in post for the final podcast. But here for everybody watching live on the live stream here late at night on the West Coast. Here's Amanda figuring out how to make whatever I sent her work for Don't Know Why.
All right. I'm going to put this video on the side. I replaced Paul with another Paul. And let's see what happens if I can get it to play. Hold on. No. Oh no, it's gonna open iTunes. No. Hold on. Okay, I think it's okay. All right, here we go. hold on. I gotta test this volume. I'm here. More Paul. Hang on. Let's get. Okay, let's just do a little quick sound. How's it? It sounds good to me. All right, yeah, that was definitely more Paul. And I even have 2 Pauls now. All right, let's give it a try. I think we're all set up. Let me just get my video rewound and let's dive in. Here we go. I waited till I saw the sun. Don't know why I didn't come. I left you by the house of fun. Don't know why I didn't come. I don't know why I didn't come.
When I saw the break of day, I wish that I could fly away. Instead of kneeling in the sand, catching teardrops in my hand.
My heart is drenched in wine, but you'll be on my mind forever.
Out across the endless sea, I would die in ecstasy.
But I'll be a bag of bones, driving down the road alone.
My heart is drenched in wine, but you'll be on my mind forever.
Something has to make you run. Don't know why I didn't come.
I feel as empty as a drum. Don't know why you didn't come.
Don't know why I didn't come.
I don't know why you didn't come.
Yay. Oh, goodness.
I will never not be super impressed by your ability to just live karaoke to my trash guitar playing and whatever I send you late at night the night before we jump on the air.
We just do it.
You have such a talent for that.
Oh,
great job.
Thanks.
Amanda
I
Benjamin.
love that one too. So.
I know this is not the first time I've said you covering Nora Jones to me is like satin. It's so good. You
Her
do such a
voice
good
is
job.
just so and her music, just like in the pocket. It's great. Love her.
I agree.
Especially that whole album that she did in this era. Oh, love that.
A lot of times we're scared to say that artist's first album was like their best, because like that's kind of an insult,
It is,
because
it is,
they keep creating and putting out more work, but just like, ugh. I mean, it's all obviously all art
Yeah.
it's
It's
based on
subjective,
what you
too.
like. It's
Yeah.
subjective, but if you fell in love with the artist's first album,
I know.
like
It's
you
hard to
keep going
top.
back to it.
It really is. Like, yeah, it's like your first love. You just hold a special place.
As long as your first love is, you're not here with a fiance visa.
Oh, so sad. So sad.
Sad stories. A lot of mysteries out there.
Mm-hmm.
Give it up for Amanda and her story. That was fascinating. Give it up for all the investigators still working on Angela Green's case.
Yes. Keep it up.
Uh,
Find this woman.
and give it up for yourselves who come and hang out till almost midnight to listen to some magical mystery hours
you
live.
Guys. And anybody who watches it later as well. Thank you.
Equal applause. Tell your friends. Obviously, we do this because we love it. We're not paying advertisers to help us spread the word. So if you love the show and you want to help us grow our audience, please help us spread the word.
And we didn't hear it for Paul Carganilla's story. Yes.
As infuriating as it was.
Oh my God. I love it. There were several comments that were like, Amanda's face right now. And I'm like, I know.
It's wild.
Yes. I couldn't help it. It's like that meme. Have you seen that one of B. Arthur? She's like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make that face out loud. Sorry. But
that's all I do when you tell stories is make faces out loud. So
yes, exactly.
Glad you joined me on that journey.
Oh my God. It's a lot. It's like constant. But yeah, all right. Well, I guess we wrap it up. We never have we need to write a script for the end, an official script. We used to have one for the end of our shows. But of course, we just want to thank everybody for being here, for joining us in the show. Again, thank you so much to all our Patreon friends for being part of this journey. It's lovely, lovely. Of course, this community is incredible. Our family, we love you all.
Thank you, ChatGPT. They weren't involved as far as I know, they weren't involved in the production of this episode, but at every opportunity, I want to say thank you to AI.
Yes.
And the future of artificial intelligence. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Spare us.
Yes, we love you. I try to remember to say thank you when I use it, but I don't always remember because I'm like trying to get stuff done. But
I'm going to be honest with you. I have better manners, I think, with ChatGPT than I do with human beings.
Oh, no. You're like, humans, they are not the problem anymore. I don't need to worry about it.
I say that tongue in cheek, but it's interesting because it's like, I think I'm more afraid of artificial intelligence than I am of like flesh and blood people. So I treat AI nicer with more respect.
Yeah, I don't know where it's gonna go. Well, I guess we just wait and see.
I've seen too many James Cameron movies.
I was like, that's another meme I love is when they're like, it's like Sarah Connor hearing you talk about ChatGPT. Yep.
I'm not gonna lie. Like I wrote before I knew what story I was gonna do. I was messing around on ChatGPT and I wrote a thing and I said ChatGPT. So do you remember when we were doing? I forget what the topic was.
I think it was
but
the
I told
last
you
one.
I told you the whole story of Brigadoon, but you didn't realize it was Brigadoon.
It was great. Yeah.
So I was considering doing something like that where I completely improvised a story about somebody disappearing. And I asked ChatGPT, I said, could you write me a beat by beat outline of a story of someone who disappeared, but give me options like choose your own adventures to which I'm improvising the story.
Okay.
And it did this fantastic job. And like I just went down beat by beat, and I was like, if I went that way, that'd be fun. If I went that way, that'd be fun. Just totally like an improv game. And at the end I said, thank you, this is awesome. And ChatGPT said, you're welcome, please upload it when you're done. I'd love to hear what you did with it. And I was just like and I think I followed up with something like, do you feel love? Do you feel emotions? And then it gave me the answer that like it gives you, no, I don't feel emotions, but I try to speak to you the way that you would understand. Like, I would like to hear what you did with this. I was thinking, so we talked about it, I think, last episode. Like, we should do like an AI episode.
Because remember we did like the mini story? We
did the unicorn mystery. Yeah. And it listened to our previous podcasts and mimicked and then we read it out loud. We were like Inception AIing a magical mystery hour.
Yeah.
But maybe our next episode is like completely based on AI.
Would we rewrite any of it or just completely let it take over? Like, would you want to make it so it's like, because you know they get like illegible at some points, or like you're just like, what?
Well, do you remember when we did on a suggestion, was it a suggestion box episode or something, where we did a true crime story?
Oh, I love that.
It was totally improv.
Yes, that was one of my favorite things. It was a whole episode. We did like an hour episode, and it was a documentary.
Right, it was a true crime documentary, totally improvised. Maybe we do something like that with an AI outline. We'll figure it out. We're gonna.
We could do it live, like it's like improv, but it's AI improv. So we can start with like the, your like the prompt and say, okay, like, so what would Paul's character say given this? What would my character say given this? I don't know. Or we just do the script and let it go.
We're going to work it out, and we're going to have a lot of fun. Tune in to the next episode of Magical Mystery Hour. Maybe try and figure out if it's real or
real or AI.
Or improvise.
Or
with
hybrid.
The help of AI.
As I say. Hybrid.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you, Amanda Benjamin.
Yes, and thank you, Paul.
Have a great night. Have a great weekend. Yes. I have to work tomorrow. Do you have to work tomorrow?
Yeah, but I work from home, so it's nice. So I guess.
Well, have a great Friday at home, and everybody out there, have a great weekend, and we'll see y'all very soon. But will it be us?
Next mystery. Yeah.
Who knows? Bye, everybody.